Alrighty, so today we are going to be cooking a vegan pot pie, but instead of the pie, it's just going to be the insides of the pot pie, and we're going to put it over rice. So what we're going to do first is I'm going to add soy curls, and this is what soy curls look like. They're dried soybeans. It's the whole soybean. So that's your protein source. Okay? So what we're going to do with those, we have a whole bag that we took out of the bag. They're Butler soy curls. And what I did is I took them out of the bag and I found the smaller ones. What we're going to do with those soy curls is I'm going to get a bowl. I got my bowl. I'm just using a handful of soy curls, and Steve wanted me to get the smaller ones. So I just dug out some small soy curls. Then I boiled some water. I'm going to use a teaspoon of the Better Than Bouillon no chicken base. And they're going to soak in there and rehydrate. So they'll be, because right now these are hard. You can't, you break them up like this. And I'm just getting out a couple more. That's probably about enough for us. So here's my soy curls. I'm opening up my bouillon. I'm going to use a nice big chunk. It doesn't have to be exact. I probably should have mixed it, but whoa. I'm just going to do enough to cover it for right now, because I'm sure the water is going to soak up. The broth. And I'm just going to let it sit there and soak and rehydrate. I have my russet potato, and we need to cut it into little chunks. I'm putting in, the recipe calls for 1 russet potato, but I like potatoes. In this recipe, I'm going to do 2 potatoes. And you probably want I don't know what size this is, a 1/2 inch. I don't know. You want them cubed, small. I mean, you can do it however big size you want. And then I'm going to steam my potatoes to help keep the nutrients, so all the nutrients don't go into the boiling water. So I cut it up about like that size. Because who doesn't love potatoes, right? I mean, I know I do. I probably should have cut them a little bit bigger, but that's okay. Now this is the kind of steamer I have. I could do it over the stove, but I'm going to use this. It's an Oster or Oster, however you want to pronounce it. You put the water in here, then you put this on top, and then you got the basket, which I have 2. They can stack on top of each other. So I'm just going to put in my potatoes. And the reason why I'm steaming it is because we're not going to be cooking it in the oven like a normal pot pie. We're just making the gravy stuff. And so my potatoes need to be cooked. And doing it this way so when I put them in the gravy with all the other vegetables, they'll be ready. So I'm just going to put the lid on, turn my timer to 20 minutes. We'll check in 10 because they're cut small, and then we'll see how it is. All right, so now that the potatoes have been going, on my timer says about 10 minutes. I don't know if that's really been 10 minutes because that was mighty fast. I need to get my rice cooking. So I have a rice cooker, but the rice likes to stick to my rice cooker. So I start cooking it in a pot. All right, so I'm going to be using just regular rice. I'll probably do a cup and a half. So I got my cup. And a half of rice. All right, so I got my rice on the stove. I'm gonna turn it on until it starts to boil. And then when it starts to boil, I'm gonna turn it down on low. So that way it will cook. And let's go check on the potatoes. Let's see, my timer, it says almost done. Let's see. Nope. So I turn it on a little bit longer. I did it to the 5, 10, 15. I don't know if that timer really works like it should. But anyways. So we're going to get those rice going. Oh, let's look at the soy curls. See the soy curls? See, now they're pliable. So they soak up they're pretty much have no taste to it. So they're supposed to soak up the flavor of what you soak them in. But we like to at least give them some kind of flavor. And there's nothing wrong with this broth. I'll use it in our recipe. All right, so in this recipe, it calls for a small onion and 3 cloves of garlic. Well, I only have a little bit of an onion. I'm just going to be cutting up my onion. Take off the skin part that we don't want to eat. Because who wants to bite into that? Not I. I'll just pull it back before I cut it. Get as much of the onion as I can. All right, my rice is boiling. So I turned it down to number 2 on my stove. So let it simmer. And we need 3 garlics, minced. They always say, let your garlic rest after you cut it, so the medicinal parts of it, whatever it does, I can't think of what it does, but so that it breaks down. So I'm gonna hit it another time to get it nice and smush. And you want these minced. The recipe calls for oil, but I'm not going to use oil. I'm going to use the chicken broth, or the no chicken base. to saute my garlic and onion. So for the vegetables, I'm just using the mixed vegetables, and it calls for 3 cups. So I'll see if there's 3 cups in here. Okay, so I have my soy curls. They've been soaking. They're all rehydrated. Now I'm going to get another bowl, and I'm going to pour the extra broth out. And yes, my hands are clean. And just whoops. I'm just going to squeeze out the excess. So I'm just squeezing out the excess broth to get them dry. And then what I'm going to do, I guess it, while we're waiting for that to heat, the pan to heat up, we're just going to chop them into like littler pieces. Now you can order these online. You don't have to go to a specialty store. You can go to Butler's Soy Curls or Butler's and look them up. You can order them right from their website. I'm sure you can order them from Amazon. We just happened to get these from our natural grocers, but I think I'm going to be ordering the big bags. Steve likes to cook with them a lot. And so when you're cutting them up, it looks like little chicken chunks. So there's my chicken. Now the recipe calls for a 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour, 2 cups of vegetable broth, but we're going to use the chicken, a cup of unsweetened nut milk. We're going to use West soy milk, and then 3 cups of frozen mixed vegetables. And so once my pot gets hot, okay, pot's hot. Let it get a little bit hot. And let's put in the garlic and onions. Get my spoon. Now I need to measure out. That's not quite a cup, because I need 2 cups of vegetable broth. So that's, I had like 1.5. And get some more of my Better Than Bouillon. Gonna go a little bit bigger. Turn that down. Okay. I need a little water. I don't want my stuff to burn, so I put in some water to help saute them. Now I need to mix my bouillon. Okay, once I get these going, now I need to whisk in my flour and my broth and my milk. So let's get this mixed in so I don't get clumps, which I probably already will. This is what I'm using for my milk. A cup of that. So I'm just gonna pour it in with my broth real quick. Get it all going. Okay. I'm adding that in. My potatoes. And 3 cups. 3 cups of my vegetables. 1. 2. 3. And my chicken. Or my soy curls, I should say. Not chicken. My soy curls. Gonna turn that up. Turn it up to high. I haven't put any salt or pepper or anything in this yet. Now we're just gonna stir this until it thickens up. It says 5 to 10 minutes. So I'll see you back then. Okay, so I'm guessing if it's bubbling, the vegetables are warmed up. Let me see. Oh yeah, hot. You can see my rice. Let's check that. Take that off. Let it finish. And there you have. Pot pie without the pie. Alright, so the rice is done. The chicken pot pie is done.
Smells delicious.
All we gotta do is get the rice. Gonna plate it up.
Is that mine?
Do you want it yours?
Sure, that's all I need.
Okay, Steve's going to plate his.
I'm going to make sure that I get plenty of the chicken.
The soy curl.
Chik'n.
That's all you're going to eat? Did you have a late lunch?
Of course, I always have a late lunch. I didn't see any green beans.
And salt and pepper to taste. If you want to add extra spices, seasonings.
So there's no salt or pepper on any of this?
No salt or pepper on any of it.
Okay, so I'm going to...
So you might want to taste it because I find the better than bouillon to be a little salty.
Yeah, so I'm just going to put pepper on it and forego the salt. And I'm going to let it cool down. I'm not going to pull an Angie where I put piping hot food in my mouth and burn my tongue. Hey.
All right. So I got my food plated. We put it over rice. I put pepper on it. I haven't put any salt on it yet. Steve says it needed salt. But I'm going to do a taste test. so you know that I eat my own food. No oil except the little bit that's in the vegetable, in the broth. But you don't need to cook with oil. It's pretty hot. It does need salt, but it's pretty good. Did you like it?
Yeah, it had good taste. So, you ever notice that on all the food videos on YouTube, everybody's like, that's the best thing.
Yeah.
We will tell you if it doesn't taste good.
Yeah, it does need salt, and when I put the salt on, it'll make it taste even better, but I think it's pretty good.
It's a keeper.
I got this recipe off of Nora Cooks. You can find her on her website, Pinterest. But I slightly, like I said, I didn't use any oil and I didn't put it in the in the crust. Alright, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Bye.